How could Am Yisrael fall for this again? Was one golden calf so successful that now we try to double it? How could anyone believe that this thing took them out of Mitzrayim? But that phrase, Hine Elohecha Yisrael asher ha'alucha me'eretz Mitzrayim, it's not new. When Aaron did it the first time in Sefer Shemos, here too it was declared, V'yikach mi'adam v'yitzar oto b'cheret v'yasehu egel masecha v'yamu Elohecha Yisrael asher ha'alucha me'eretz Mitzrayim. There it's even more surprising, of course. They actually left Egypt not so long ago, and there was no golden cow leading them out. It was created right now in front of their eyes. And why in plural? Why ele? How could Am Yisrael fall to Avodah Zarah at a time like this? Okay, they were scared that Moshe didn't come back when they thought he would. Many of us aren't great at counting Sefirot Omer even today. So it's surprising, in fact, that there are so many Jewish accountants if we can't even count 49 days. But still, how did it fall from that to this? It seems that as severe as this incident was, it wasn't actually meant as Avodah Zarah. Not that this is Hashem itself, but that this is a symbol of Hashem, something we can use perhaps to try to relate to and connect with Hashem if we're simply too distant as creations of flesh and blood. It's wrong, of course, but at least perhaps we can understand. If Moshe Rabbeinu didn't make it, what chance did any of the rest of us have? We felt we needed some kind of intermediary. Even if we could ever reach such a level, so fast as after coming out as slaves to rise up to royalty is a jump we just couldn't manage in such a short time. This is one of the big themes perhaps of Shir HaShirim. But why a calf? And why in plural if there was one? Rav Amnon Bazak shares some amazing ideas on this. There are different understandings of what the Kruvim looked like on the Aron HaBrit. But either way, it was meant to symbolize the heavenly realms, as were many of the items in the Beis HaMikdash. Some of these ideas we've mentioned at least briefly, like the Ofanim, which we mentioned remind us of the Melachim and the Maaseh Merkava itself, which is the symbolic chariot of the Shekhinah. Among the deepest of the prophetic traditions that we hold is Maaseh Merkava. It's meant to portray the presence of the Shekhinah, though unfortunately in Nevi'im Achronim, it's portraying the Shekhinah leaving the Beis HaMikdash. But that wasn't all it was supposed to be. It should have resembled also the Shekhinah traveling along with us, protecting us in the desert, and then moving into the Beis HaMikdash as well. These elements appear in various forms symbolized throughout the structure and kelim of the Beis HaMikdash, and perhaps even in the holiest of all places, by the Aron itself in the Kodesh Kodashim. Yechezkel describes what he sees twice, once in Perek Aleph and once in Perek Yud of Sefer Yechezkel. The four forms and faces of each celestial being, which understanding in depth is of course way beyond the scope of this program and beyond me to begin with, but on a very basic level, just comparing the words between the two, we see that each being had four forms facing the four different directions. In the first parak, we have the face of a person, a lion, an ox, and a nesher. A nesher being, we'll say, a vulture. In Perek Yud, it says, the four are a kruv, a person, a lion, and a nesher. So what's changed? The word kruv was used in place of ox. All the others are the same, meaning perhaps the two were synonymous. The kruvim may have been oxen, which were symbols of strength, royalty, and divinity. Could this be what Am Yisrael saw around them as they prophesied? Could this be one of the explanations of what the kruvim looked like? Could this be a symbol of the presence of Hashem, just as it emanated from amongst the kruvim of the heavenly sphere, and soon from the place between the kruvim of the kaporet here on earth? If so, while still the wrong thing to do, we can at least understand what Aaron was trying to symbolize. Not Chalila that this itself was Hashem who took them out, but that these forms they see around them symbolize Hashem's presence and how He runs the world. Hashem walking with us and protecting us every step along the way of our journey as a nation and individuals. His Shekhinah residing with us here in the world. How does this help us understand our prakim with Yeravam ben Nevat, who's clearly trying to recreate such a message, though here in an even more corrupt way? What does any of this have to do with Beit El and Dan? Why does Yeravam fortify Shechem as a capital, which makes sense, but then suddenly decides to move his capital to Pnuel? All of this to be continued in the next video.